All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Kalvin Hot Sauce Henderson returning to the show for a third time. 18-2 pro boxer. Kalvin, what's up? How are you doing, boss?
What's going on, Matt, man? Back like the light bill, baby. You know what they say? I'm excited to be back, man. It's always a fun time on here, man. It's always a fun chat, man. So I'm ready to do it again.
Yes, sir. So before we get into the interview, I want to give the viewers of the channel a quick update. Took a little break in the dry time of sports. You know, there's no college football, no college basketball. Kind of a dry time. But I am returning with a team of co-hosts. We got a super team coming in. We have some exciting stuff planned. So make sure to subscribe if you're new. And let's get right into this interview. Kalvin, you're on a 3-fight win streak right now, but before that, you had a world title fight with David Morrell, and we were talking on Instagram about running another interview back, and you said you want to talk about that fight. So, yeah, talk about that fight. What's on your mind?
For sure, man. So first of all, I want to say David Morrell is a very talented, very future promising fighter, man. He only has, I think, 9 to 10 professional fights right now, but he's fast track, which means that his investors, his promoters, his managers, they believe a lot in him, and they fast track him. So that means that they put him with harder opponents than usual on the first few fights, and I actually think that he won the WA super middleweight world title on his third fight. You know what I mean? So this guy is hot, a lot of high intentions for him, a lot of money behind him too. But a lot of things people don't know about is that the behind the closed doors, right? So I'm not the only one that says it, but I'm gonna tell my side of the story. So I got contacted to fight David Morrell. Had to be in 2022 in June for the WA world title on Showtime. I was co-main event in Minnesota, his second home. And so when when you get there, you sign paperwork regarding the fight and the fight details. So the day of the weigh-ins, I'm signing my paperwork for everything, and WA has paperwork saying that we will be drug tested tomorrow before the fight starts. I signed the paperwork. He signed his paperwork. Boom, bam. It's pretty normal, pretty standard, especially for a world title, especially from WBA, who's been around for years. I think WBA was actually the first sanctioning body in professional boxing. You know what I mean? One of the most recognizable. And so we get to the fight night. This is June 4th, I believe, on Saturday. And I go to my locker room. I get there, and I sit down in my locker room. I got to pee, man. I'm going to go ahead and get my pitch test over with now. So I call commission and tell them, hey, call the WBA so they can come over here. I can do my drug test. I hear him talking on walkie-talkie. She goes, he doesn't. Oh, well, what do you mean? I'm like, what? That's weird. So then the WBA representative comes upstairs to my locker room and go like, hey, so about the drug test, don't worry about it. We're not going to order. We forgot to order it, so don't even worry about it. I go, wait, hold on. No. I signed paperwork yesterday to begin drug testing. Now I am worried about it. Where is it at? She's like, oh, no, it's just okay. Maybe we just forgot it. I said, no, we got to figure this shit out right now. So she goes, well, the best we can do is order it now, and they'll be here for after the fight. I go, like, I bet. That's fine with me. As long as drug testing, I'm cool. So the fight happens. We all know what happened in that fight, man. But I go back to the locker room, and guess what? No drug test. No drug test at all, man. So here we go fighting for a world title, and I signed paperwork for this world title list, and there's no drug test. And it wouldn't be weird if I didn't talk to two other people who also fought the same opponent, David Morrell, and the exact same thing happened. They get to the locker room, and there's no drug test. They get to order the test. It happened. Everybody I know had fought him, and so I think it's very weird and very, I don't know what I'm trying to use for it, unethical. You know what I mean? To be a WA in this big major world sanctioning body, and they forget order the test. And so I'm just really
So,
getting out my side. Go ahead. I'm sorry. My truth and my side of it.
oh, yeah, well, no, you got anything else? I was just going to ask a follow-up.
Oh, but go ahead, big dog. All is.
All right, yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, they're trying to push them through. There's a lot of money behind them, like you said. I mean, you didn't say it explicitly, but if you had to bet, if I said Kalvin, you have to tell me if he was or weren't on a performance enhancer that night of the fight or in the training camp. What would you say?
Man, okay, so put it like this. Yes. I'm gonna say why though. A lot of the top guys in the sport that don't want to say it, they want to be on the hush hush. A lot of the top guys are cheating. And so they got the commissions and these organization bodies in their pocket to where they take care of their fight and their investment. Think about if I'm investing hundreds of thousands and maybe even $1 million into a fighter, I want every best opportunity I can to make sure my fighter succeeds. Even in me taking PEDs, you know what I mean? And so, of course, there's not going to be any proof you taking PEDs, but if you're not cheating, why not take the test? Why is it such a big deal where 3 different times now they forgot to order the test?
And I will say, I mean, there's a lot of different performance enhancers out there that do different things. But I will say, for your weight class, he was looking like a unit in the ring. He was looking pretty strong in the ring for that fight. So
I
I
tell
will
you right
say
now, man,
that. So
like weigh-ins, dude. So a lot of boxers know how tough weigh-ins are. Weigh-ins are always strange. Keep trying to cut the weight down. So I'm there looking
yeah.
like SpongeBob without water. You know what I mean? He going to Disney, sandy cheeks and shit. Face sunk in, eyes sunk in, can barely talk. And I look over at him and his team. He's drinking Gatorade. Man, like what? Like it's almost unheard of to hear a fighter drinking or eating anything before he step on the scale. He's sipping Gatorade. Like he had a good time. So not only was he big as hell, he's also drinking and eating food before the weigh-in. Come on, man. I'm not saying that's the tall tale sign for cheating. I'm just saying there's some ratatouille shit going on. You know what I mean?
wait. Do you think the scale was rigged too?
No, I don't think the scale was rigged. The scale was never rigged. So whatever he was taking was rigged, man. And a lot of these fighters take shit. You know, a lot of people think steroids is something that makes you bigger and stronger. A lot of times, these fighters taking shit to make them cut weight easier. A lot of times, fighters taking shit called HGH, which makes their body recover faster than most. So let's break that down real fast. Let's say fighter A and fighter B. Fighter A is taking HGH for 30 days. Fighter B is not. Fighter A and fighter B both getting the same training count, but fighter B is getting tired, fatigued, sore, maybe small injuries, while fighter A is waking
Yeah.
up every day. So fighter B has to take a day or two off to recover, while fighter A doesn't. So over a 30-day span, fighter A has gotten way more reps and way more work than fighter B had just because his body needs to naturally rest and he doesn't have to do it because he's taking HGH. That's just an example of PEDs. Not necessarily means, like I'm saying, you get stronger or bigger or you're not working. You can definitely be working also taking PEDs too.
So if David Morrell sees this, I'm going to post this, I'm going to clip this, and he sees this, and he says, let's run it back then, and we will have drug testing. Are you game for that?
Please, hey, look at my face. Look at my face. Please just run this shit back, man. Please. Please. If we're gonna do it again, non-drug tested, to give me the drugs he's taking too, I'm gonna be suit the fuck up in the ring with him, man. We're gonna see who the best drugs gonna win, man. The may the best drugs win. Hell yeah, man.
Let's go.
Please run it back, man. Hell no, man. Mama ain't raised no hoe, man. He could be at 175 too, guy. He just moved up to 175, so it don't matter. I need that lick back, man. My whole life, man, I grew up, I need my lick back. I need my motherfucking lick back, man.
Let's go. And you heard it here first on Sports Chat with Matt, ladies and gentlemen. Kalvin, I appreciate you breaking this on my show. But yeah, now let's talk a little bit about what's next for you. All right?
For sure. Yes,
what's
sir.
next? You got some leads for your next fight? What's going on?
Yeah, for sure, man. So I got my next fight going to be October 11th in Little Rock, Arkansas. So we have a promotion company here in Arkansas that's putting on shows. They want me to headline it. So I said, yeah, let's do it. The price is right. Let's make it happen. And so I got a guy coming from California who was a journeyman, has over 45 professional fights. And this guy's coming to bring it, man. He's a southpaw. He's had a lot of amateur fights, a lot of professional fights. So he's coming, not to lay down, but he's coming to fight and try to upset me. I'm extremely excited. I love fighting. I love knocking motherfucking shit loose. And so here's another opportunity to make it happen on October 11th.
So before the show, we talked about that, and you are just a day or two into camp. How much better is it to train when you actually have something tangible that you're working towards versus just training in hopes to get a fight signed? How much better is it?
Man, that's a great question, man. So, I told you before, I'm a professional athlete. So you never heard of a part-time doctor or a part-time lawyer, so I'll be a part-time boxer. So I train all year long. But the difference is when I have a fight lined up and I start training camp, everything gets turned up a notch. So it feels way harder than training is, but you have a purpose on the other side of the rainbow. You know what I mean? It's not like you just training and busting your ass for no reason. We actually have an opponent and somebody and get all the frustration out on. So that's always a good thing.
Bro, I can relate to that. That's a story for another time, but I know I was training for something that was a lofty goal, a lofty dream of mine, and not having that tangible thing in sight. It's just a different beast when you actually have it versus when you're just hoping that happens. So I respect it. And I know boxing's boxing's it's not an easy game. It's not an easy game,
Not at
especially as
all.
you're
Not at
trying to
all,
make
big dog.
that rise where you are.
And then
So
what's even crazy is
yeah,
even
so
more motivation. It's even more motivation when you have the bigger fights too. So of course, fighting is always a motivation. Then you got the big TV fights and the big world title fights. It takes shit from here to here. You can't even see on the camera. Look how high it took it. It took it up there. You know what I mean? So it's always motivation factors inside of each fight.
all right, and so I'm very intrigued by the Jake Paul experiment, and I will admit, I'm going to admit it. I'm a Jake Paul fan. I'm sorry, Calvin. If I hope
What are
that
you
doesn't
sorry
rub you the
for?
wrong way. I know.
Nah,
Well, I
nah, nah.
know.
You ain't
It's just I
apologize to
hope
me,
Kenzie's
man.
not. I hope Kenzie's not there in the background because I think Kenzie might be a little offended by that. But I like Jake Paul. All right,
Yeah.
and something that I've lost sleep over. You were a sparring partner. Is Jake Paul 6 feet tall or no?
To me, nah, I'm 6 foot, 6'1", and he was shorter than me. So I don't know how that makes him 6 foot tall. If I'm 6 foot, he's shorter than me. But you can see on the
He's
picture,
not
we
touching
side by side.
6.
You can see on
He's
the
not
picture
touching
like that I
6.
posted on Instagram. We were side by side. If he was 6 foot tall, if I would say 5'10", 5'10" and a half maybe.
No,
Yeah, big dog.
no.
Yeah,
Well,
big
wait.
dog.
Okay, let's say you're 6'1". Maybe we could say he's 6 feet tall.
Yeah, if I'm 6'1", I only been 6'1" once. That was on Showtime. So if I'm 6'1", then yeah,
No,
he'll be
no.
6 foot there. Heck yeah, man.
I man, I have nothing against short people. Short people, you're great, but I don't know. That's a little disappointing to know he's not 6 feet tall. Everyone describes him. Here's the thing: it's like everyone describes him as like a big guy. Like, oh, him and his brother, they're massive. They're huge
What?
guys, and you just can't describe a guy who's not 6 feet tall as massive. Don't get me wrong; he's very thick and stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't know.
Nah, nah,
I
nah,
might
nah. Now Logan Paul, maybe so. I haven't met him before, but looking at him on video and pictures and shit, that motherfucker do look big as shit. But Jay Paul, man, he average size, man, like I said, 5'10", 5'10" and a half. He is wide, you know what I mean? He is thicker, no Diddy and shit, but I wouldn't say massive by many means, man. Now he might be bulking up for this
damn.
Mike Tyson fight. I don't know. I haven't seen him since 2023, so he could be bulking up for that fight. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, did you watch his fight against Mike Perry or see
I
the
watched the
highlights?
highlights. I watched the highlights. Yeah, 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 yeah. I watched the highlights.
What did he think? What did he think?
I think Mike Perry had no business being in the fucking ring with Jay Paul on that side. And Jay Paul, he could look better, but he did what he's supposed to do against Mike Perry. And Mike Perry didn't really have skill set. He's just known to be tough. A lot of guys thought because he was tough in the octagon or tough in bare knuckle boxing that Jay Paul can't knock him out. I said, dude, this is boxing. In boxing, I done seen the tough guys get their ass whooped and quit. This is different, man. Imagine getting hit with a bat, you out. The fight's over with. Then you get hit back. Let's say you get hit with a padded bat. You're gonna be taking a lot more blows over
Yeah.
a span of time and shit, man. So it's a more brutal sport. They even said that compared to MMA. MMA, you get more knockouts because it's more one hit, boom, done, less brain damage. But boxing, you getting your ass whooped
Yeah.
from corner to corner to corner, round to round to round, man. A lot more brain damage.
A lot more death too in boxing.
Facts.
I don't think there's been a single. I know there's a lot of different small promotions, but I don't think there's been a single UFC death before. And there's just in general a lot less death in MMA because people think it's barbaric. But let's say you're on the stand up, you hit him across the head, the guy falls, and you go to pound him. Ref
Fight's
stops the
over.
fight right there. But you get a
Hell
boxer with a
yeah.
chin, keeps taking punishment, gets knocked
Hell
down 4
yeah.
times, gets a 10 count. The 10 count is actually extremely barbaric. Like a
Hell
tough
yeah.
guy will keep getting up, and then his brain will take too much
Yeah,
damage,
for damn sure.
and yeah,
And
so
so, you heard the whole
it's a
saying that
brutal sport.
sometimes you're too tough for your own good. You know what I'm saying? That's how boxing
Yeah,
is. Sometimes people just too tough for their own good. That's why it's good to have a good team in your corner that know you as a fighter. Know like, nah, champ, tonight's not your night. Let's stop and do it again next time.
yeah, but I will say, and people don't, not hit that subscribe button because I admitted that I like Jake Paul. I can explain why in another video, but I will say that he did break Mike Perry's rib 10 seconds into that fight, which I think that's why Mike Perry had his hands down the whole time and just was doing the Rocky
Uh,
Balboa, just taking damage to the head
that
the
makes
entire
sense.
fight. So,
Brain damage.
but
Shoot,
but
man,
either way,
shit, I believe that shit. The sparring when I was in Dubai with him, he had two sparring partners, me and another guy. He actually broke and or bruised the other sparring partner's ribs, so he was about to be out. So that's when I stepped in and took all the rounds when he was out. That's when I
And you opened a can of whoop ass on him.
yeah, that's when I infamously got my ass kicked out too when I took all those rounds. The damn show.
Let's go. Let's go. So, well, Kalvin. So, I at the beginning of the show, I'll let you go right after this. But at the beginning of the show, I said I have some exciting things on the docket, and eventually, when I do grow this channel and this show, I would love to jump in the ring for one fight. Would you be my coach if that happens?
Oh shit! Hell yeah! You for real?
One fight. I have some people in my scopes that I want. When I
Oh
grow
shit!
this, I will grow
Okay,
it. It's going to happen eventually, but I want one fight.
let's make it happen, man. Amateur, or professional.
Oh, it's got to be professional. It's got to
Oh,
be
okay, bet.
professional.
Well, bet. Like, I'm telling you right now, when you do
So
this shit, you gotta fly down here for at least a week, and we're gonna put in some major fucking work, big dog. So you better be careful what you're asking for. The fight, the training camp is gonna be so fucking hard. The fight gonna be the easy part.
let's go. Let's
Hell
go.
yeah,
Hey,
big dog.
I got some competitive. I got to scratch. I got to scratch a competitive itch, and
That's what I'm
it's
talking
gonna
about.
happen down the road. It's gonna happen down
Okay.
the road, and it's not like I'm gonna be fighting the upper level competition. All right, it's like guys who probably in their first fight as well who have a
You got
name.
some odds. You
That's the
got some
goal
odds.
when I grow the
Okay.
channel.
For sure, you got some
So
odds. Let's say right now, if I'm involved, we're gonna train hard. We're gonna do this shit the right way, baby. If I'm involved, we're gonna do this
yes,
shit the right
sir.
way. Yeah, yeah. Only way I know how
Let's
to do it.
go. Let's go. So I'm calling the shot right now. We're gonna
The
make this
interview.
happen down the road. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Kalvin Henderson. Kalvin, thank you so much for coming on the show. And yeah, we'll be in touch. And yeah, best of luck, man.
Appreciate it, man. You notice my little silhouette in the background right there. You see that? Yeah, you got double sauce right here, man.
Let's go. Hey, that's pretty slick.
Yeah. Don't want no
That's pretty
accident, man.
slick.
Everything's intentional, man. Sauce on sauce on sauce on sauce on sauce, baby. Sauce is everywhere.
Let's go. Let's go, champ. All right,
Yes,
man.
sir.